Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of EVTV. I'm your anchor, Natalie Marner.
And I'm your co-anchor, Tanner Calderola.
This week, we are back after a 3-week hiatus with a great episode.
Recently, the Mountain Bike State Championship were held at the Haymaker Trail near the pool and ice rink in Eagle.
Even though mountain biking isn't recognized as a CHSA sport, this valley has a huge mountain biking population.
The town of Eagle is known for our mountain biking trails, but only few know about their impact on our EVHS community. Cycle Effect has taught many students about biking importance.
Cycle Effect has been a huge piece. I know a lot of the girls started with Cycle Effect.
Cycle Effect is a nonprofit organization started by Brett Donaldson in 2010. The team competes all across the state, teaching high school students about the impact and importance of mountain biking.
Mountain biking is not a CHSA sanctioned sport. It is just an additional sport that we know that our kids, just like snowshoeing, we've got all of our 5K snowshoeing races that happen all winter, and that's not a CHSA event. Those aren't CHSA sports that are part of what they're doing.
Recently, the team competed at the state championship in Eagle and placed third overall, with 2 girls competing from Eagle Valley and 5 girls from Battle Mountain.
And so the championships that are held in Eagle are with it's not a CHSA event. It is just like we have our GoPro games and we have X Games and we've got all of the other entities that come out and do different competitions. They do a high school mountain biking competition.
I talked to senior Flor Carrillo, who's been a part of Cycle Effect since her freshman year and has felt the impact Cycle Effect has made.
It has an impact a lot of things in my life, like my confidence increased a lot. I started working out more. I had more friends.
We've got some sweet trails and we do that on our spare time, and if we can compete and run that, then our kids do. And it's a great opportunity for them.
I wish more people can get involved.
This has been Kaike Cavallero with EVTV. Make sure to hit the trails on these last few weeks of fall.
Mountain biking has had a huge impact on our community.
There are many students that are very invested in their sport, whether it be mountain biking or cheerleading.
Both sports are very under-recognized, but recently the cheerleaders have been getting a different reaction from the stands than before.
For more information, we go to our reporter, Sammy.
You see them at every football game, cheering on the team and pumping up the crowd. But what you don't see is how hard they actually work.
We stunt a lot, like work on new stunts for games and stuff, and then we do a lot of routine for our competitions.
We usually just start off with a normal warm up, and then we do tons of stunting, and it goes from there.
You see, cheers weren't the only things coming from the stands on Friday the 21st at the football game.
Students were throwing stuff at us, which is kind of a safety concern, especially when we're throwing people in the air.
It was a glow-themed night, and our students were given and brought their own glow sticks. And as they had those in their hands, they started throwing them around, and as they were throwing them, they were targeting towards the field and the cheerleaders.
It affects me, and I feel like it affects my performance a lot.
It hurts my feelings, and I feel like I'm not really appreciated.
With this kind of treatment, the school spirit should be lost in them. But it's not. Instead, the team has been brought closer together, and their school spirit has grown only stronger.
Our team has handled it very well. I feel like they just shook it off and it's not bothering them anymore. They just got over it, like it's in the past.
It just brought us together as a team more, and we just started supporting each other more.
And the community is trying to do their part too.
By saying you can't bring anything like that, so you take away the ability to throw stuff. We've posted ourselves closer to the student section. For years now, we haven't had to have anybody up there really. We've been able to be at other parts. But last football game, for example, one administrator was at the top and one administrator was at the bottom, so we could watch and see if anybody was doing anything inappropriate. So putting ourselves in the right position. And I think just sending a message to kids to know that it was wrong. It was not the right thing to do, and I think that was received.
So now, a team devoted to showing us how to cheer is also teaching us what it's really like to lead. Back to you at the studio.
Cheerleading is a sport that reminds our school about striving to be a champion. Remember to cheer on our cheer team for upcoming competitions.
Tanner, what are you planning to do after high school?
Well, Natalie, I'm going to study video and audio production in college.
That's great. Well, for the students who still aren't sure what they want to do, Eagle Valley does a great job exposing students to different career paths.
For more information for the great options our school exposes us to, we go to our reporter, Cece Solis.
Recently, Eagle Valley's food and nutrition class was visited by a representative of the Scott-VA Vocational School.
He came to our school to talk to our students about the career one can have in the culinary arts.
So my name is Chef Charles Stober. I'm with the Augusta Scott-VA School of Culinary Arts in Boulder, Colorado. Scott-VA is a vocational culinary school that offers 2 professional diploma programs, one in pastry arts and the other in culinary arts. I've talked to both culinary students as well as some career exploratory classes. With them I talked about resumes and interview skills, and in this class we talked more about cooking.
Most students don't really know what to go after high school, but Chef Stover came here to show students one of many careers that could be interesting to pursue.
I think it'll help give them, some students, just another view of what might be possible as far as career choices. Not everybody thinks of the culinary arts, but it is a really interesting and dynamic field that provides, a lot of career opportunities.
Chef Stover gave our students many ideas on how to put themselves to a path of a culinary future.
So really the place is to just have an interest in food, cook a lot at home. Maybe buy a cookbook and cook through part of that cookbook and learn all different kinds of techniques and methods just by cooking at home.
Here at Eagle Valley, we love to cook up opportunities.
How do you guys like it?
It's delicious.
This has been Cece Solis. Back to you in the studio.
Electives are a great way to explore different career paths.
That made me hungry. Is it lunch yet?
Not quite, but our reporters Nate and Rose put together a little package full of the best places to eat off-campus lunch.
Well, then what are we waiting for?
We're here at the school.
And we're hungry.
We're gonna go off campus to find the 3 best places to eat lunch.
What are we gonna rate these places on, Rose?
We're gonna rate them on taste, price, distance, and kindness.
Nice, but with what scale?
We're gonna use the woohoo scale. If they're really good, we're gonna give them a woohoo. If they're okay, we're gonna be like, eh. And if they're pretty bad, they're gonna get a ugh.
All right, let's go give them a taste. We just arrived at Akahi Grill.
We just finished eating.
And guess what? Their taste deserves a wahoo because it was extremely, tremendously delicious.
Their distance is an eh. It's kind of far for walking and a little bit far for driving, so you'd have to order your food ahead.
Their attitude deserves a wahoo again because they were extremely nice and we got our food on time and they were just all around nice people.
And then for the price, it was an eh. But if you do share with a friend, it's a really good price and a lot of food for both of you.
All right, Rose, let's go on to our next location.
Sounds good, Nate.
Destination.
We're here at Woodfire Pizza.
And we just finished eating.
For taste, we're gonna give them a woohoo because of their cheese to sauce ratio and their crust was pretty fried.
And for distance, we're gonna give them a woohoo because you can literally walk across the street and arrive at Woodfire Pizza.
For price, we're gonna give them an eh. Cheese is a pretty good price, but if you're gonna get a lot of toppings, it could get a little pricey.
And for attitude, we're gonna give them a woo-woo because they were extremely nice and extremely generous. All right, let's go to our next destination. We're here at the Trigo Food Truck, also known as the Orange Food Truck.
We just finished eating.
So for taste, we're gonna give them a woohoo because I tried the hot wings sauce with the chicken tenders and it was the most amazing thing I've ever had.
For price, we're gonna give them a woohoo because you can get a pretty good amount of food for the price that you pay.
And for distance, it is literally right across the street, so we're gonna give them a woohoo.
And for kindness, we're gonna give them a woohoo because they were super nice to us and we got our food in a decent time.
Okay, Chubby, get back here!
This has been Nate.
And Rose.
And back to you in the studio.
Wow, guys, that was very informative.
I know where I'm going for lunch.
Well, that's all for this episode. See you next week on
EVTV.